All right, Professor Mazwe Majola now joins us via Zoom to weigh in on the ANC's Gauteng elective conference. A very good afternoon to you. Thanks as always for joining us, Prof. Majola. We appreciate your time.
Good day, Flo, and thank you so much. Wonderful to be here, and good afternoon to the viewers.
Let's start here. You know, the matter of the Ekurhuleni region being unresolved, coming into the conference, causing these delays. What are your thoughts on this? And on the back of it, being a leadership expert and looking at what's unfolding with the ANC Gauteng province elective conference, I mean, this surely doesn't bode well for how they would lead if, you know, this is a representation of, you know, what we're seeing at this time.
You know, that was badly handled. That issue of Ekurhuleni was badly handled by the ANC structures, in particular the PEC of Gauteng, because they received the complaint from the region. As the PEC, they were supposed to be the one dealing with that. You know, the organization like the ANC is the oldest organization, is a big organization, is the organization with a constitution, with the procedures and processes. It's got to have in place some dispute resolution, how to handle disputes, how to handle intractable issues. So the PEC receives the matter, but the PEC escalates the matter to the NEC. So to me, the PEC abrogated its duty to handle the matter, and the NEC deliberates on the matter, as we hear that actually they deliberated about the whole night until the morning morning on Friday, and they take back the matter to the PEC, you know, on the day of the conference. So you can see that it seems like there is a lack of decisiveness in terms of applying and implementing the policies and the internal procedures of the organization, because they should know that if the matter is like this, it should be handled in this way. And then who should handle that? But I mean, really, the fact that it had to come to that point, I think it displayed a cowardice.
Yeah.
Leadership, you know, a leadership that is not decisive, that is not courageous, a leadership that is not eager to take matters head on. Instead of they take into another structure will take it to another structure. You can see that really it's like a game, you know. So it was not definitely very, very badly handled.
Prof, you talk about, you know, how the party handles issues, and I'm sure you've been up to date with, you know, the court interdict that was later dismissed by the court this morning. What I found particularly interesting about 2 days ago, when during an ANC Gauteng province briefing, Jacob Kawa, the provincial secretary, said something like, you know, the threat of legal action, it always exists, almost resigning themselves to the fact that, you know, they would need the intervention of courts. And one wonders why these issues are not being dealt with within the party, and why they're comfortable with the idea that, you know, legal action and the threat of legal action is there, and it exists, and it's almost, you know, sort of nonchalant about the issue.
It's a lack of leadership. It's a lack of leadership because leaders are elected there to take care of the organization, to make sure that they apply, they implement the organizations, and they respect, they protect the organization's constitution and the procedures and the policies. And leaders must know their own internal processes. As I'm saying, that the fact that they now rely on courts, it means that are people who are afraid of taking tough and unpopular decisions. So at least they would rather let the courts do what they should be doing. So that is why I'm saying that there's a problem with leadership within the ANC.
Yeah.
And really it's very unfortunate, as I'm saying. This should be the organization where all other organizations are learning from. It's an oldest organization. It's a big organization.
Yeah.
It's got a huge brand, but this brand, you can see that is increasingly dying now because of this leadership or lack thereof leadership within the party.
Prof, let's talk about the main contenders, then Banyazari Sufi and Lebogang Maile contending for chairs of the province. I want to talk about their leadership style individually and the support that they enjoy within ANC ranks. I mean, it doesn't seem that they differ very much in terms of policy or where they stand. What are your thoughts on the two being the main, the main faces, I suppose, of the Gauteng province ANC?
It seems like the most popular leaders within the Gauteng ANC. I mean, remember, this is not the first time they've been, contesting each other. They did this few years ago when they were contesting the deputy chairperson position, and even there, Panyaza Lusufi won, but with a very narrow margin. So you can see that both of them, they've got this huge followership and popularity, but the question is, will whoever will be elected, whether tonight, the question is, which I hope is what they are dealing with, because unfortunately what is happening with this ANC conferences, it's become a war zone, as people have been saying. It's become a war zone instead of a festival of ideas. It's become more about positions and titles and popularity. It's become about the cabal of sycophants who will be rally behind a certain leader just because they want positions, and it's about what it's in for them. It's for self-interest. It's not about the organization. Can this man or can this woman lead us? Can this man or this woman lead this organization? Can this man and woman lead or apply and implement the policies of the organization? Can this man and woman serve the people of Gauteng to the point that they will be able to vote for us? Because it seems to me whenever they go to these conferences, they become so inward, and they forget that come 2024, it will be the people of Gauteng that will be voting for them, not only the ANC members. And Mantashe was at pains trying to reason with them and reminding them that, please, whatever we do and whatever you do, remember that 2024 it's around the corner. And because of this factionalism and divisions, they become so blinded. For them, it's about who is our man that will open doors for us. Yeah. It becomes tooth and nail. It's a fight. It's the survival of the fittest. That we want this man or this woman to lead us, because we know that once we get there, then we will be there as well. We will get to this. So leadership is not, unfortunately, it has degenerated to that. Instead of leadership being about honor, about integrity, about character, about service, about who is going to be there for us, that will build the brand of the organization.
All right, Prof, it's always a pleasure. Thanks very much for your input.